Welcome to this lesson on polynomials part 1 for CBSE Grade 10 Mathematics. In this video, we will begin our journey into polynomials, one of the most important chapters in algebra. We will understand what a polynomial is, learn about its terms, coefficients, and degrees, and see simple examples to build a strong foundation. This chapter is very important because polynomials are used in many later topics, including factorization, graphs, and equations. So, keep your notebook ready, listen carefully, and let's start learning polynomials step by step. In this slide, we are learning about polynomials. First, let us understand the parts of an algebraic expression. Look at the expression 2x. Here, 2 is called the coefficient and x is called the variable. Now look at the expression 5y. Here, 5 is the coefficient and y is the variable. So, a coefficient is the number that multiplies a variable and a variable is the letter whose value can change. Now let us move to the idea of powers. The powers of variables shown here are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. These are all whole numbers. Now observe the given expressions one by one. The expression 2x to the power 1 plus 5y to the power 1 is a polynomial because the powers of both variables are whole numbers. The expression 2y to the power 3 plus 7x to the power 2 minus y to the power 1 is also a polynomial because all the powers are whole numbers. The expression y to the power 2 minus 17y to the power 0 is also a polynomial. Remember, any variable raised to the power 0 is equal to 1, so this power is allowed. Now look at the expression 3x to the power 2 by 3 minus x to the power 2. This is not a polynomial because the power 2 by 3 is a fraction and polynomials do not allow fractional powers. Next, look at the expression x to the power minus 1 plus 5x to the power 0. This is also not a polynomial because negative powers are not allowed in polynomials. So, from all these examples, we can conclude the definition. A polynomial is an expression in which all the powers of the variables are whole numbers only. If any variable has a fractional power or a negative power, then the expression is not a polynomial. In this slide, we are learning about the types of polynomials based on the number of terms. A polynomial can be classified by counting how many terms it has. Let us look at each type one by one. First, consider a polynomial that has only one term. Such a polynomial is called a monomial. For example, the expression 2x has only one term. So, it is a monomial. Next, consider a polynomial that has two terms. Such a polynomial is called a binomial. For example, the expression x to the power 4 plus x has two separate terms. So, it is a binomial. Now, consider a polynomial that has three terms. Such a polynomial is called a trinomial. For example, the expression x to the power 3 minus square root of 3 times x squared plus 5x has three terms. So, it is a trinomial. To summarize, a polynomial with one term is called a monomial. A polynomial with two terms is called a binomial. A polynomial with three terms is called a trinomial. So, polynomials are classified based on the number of terms present in them. In this slide, we are learning about the types of polynomials based on degree. The degree of a polynomial is the highest power of the variable present in the polynomial. Let us understand this with examples. First, look at the expression 7y. Here, the highest power of the variable y is 1. So, the degree of this polynomial is 1. A polynomial of degree 1 is called a linear polynomial. Next, consider the expression 2y squared plus y plus 1. Here, the highest power of the variable y is 2. So, the degree of this polynomial is 2. A polynomial of degree 2 is called a quadratic polynomial. Now, consider the expression x cubed plus x squared plus 2x plus 3. Here, the highest power of the variable x is 3. So, the degree of this polynomial is 3. A polynomial of degree 3 is called a cubic polynomial. To summarize, a polynomial of degree 1 is called a linear polynomial. A polynomial of degree 2 is called a quadratic polynomial. A polynomial of degree 3 is called a cubic polynomial. So, polynomials can also be classified based on their degree, which depends on the highest power of the variable. Value of a polynomial and zeros of a polynomial. Let us first understand the value of a polynomial. If p of x is a polynomial in x, and k is any real number, then the value obtained by putting x equal to k in p of x is called the value of the polynomial at x equals k. This value is written as p of k. For example, consider the polynomial p of x equals x squared minus 4x plus 5. To find the value of this polynomial at x equals 4, we replace x by 4. So, p of 4 equals 4 square minus 4 times 4 plus 5. That is 16 minus 16 plus 5, which equals 5. Hence, the value of the polynomial at x equals 4 is 5. Now let us understand the zeros of a polynomial. The real values of x for which the value of the polynomial becomes 0 are called the zeros of the polynomial. For example, consider the polynomial p of x equals to x cubed minus 3x squared minus 2x plus 3. Now substitute x equals 1. P of 1 equals to into 1 cube minus 3 into 1 square minus 2 into 1 plus 3. That is to minus 3 minus 2 plus 3, which equals 0. Since the value of the polynomial becomes 0 at x equals 1, we say that 1 is a zero of the polynomial p of x. Exercise 2.1. Question 1. The graphs of y equals p of x are given below for some polynomials p of x. We need to find the number of zeros of p of x in each case. First, let us understand an important idea. The given equation is in the form y equals p of x. To find the number of zeros of a polynomial from its graph, we simply count how many times the graph intersects the x-axis. Every point where the graph cuts or touches the x-axis represents one zero of the polynomial. Now, look carefully at the given graph. This is a straight line drawn parallel to the x-axis. Observe that the line does not intersect the x-axis at any point. So, let us answer the question. How many points does the given line intersect the x-axis? The answer is none. Therefore, the number of zeros of the polynomial is 0. So, the final answer is the number of zeros is 0 because the graph does not intersect the x-axis at any point. Question 1, Part 2. The graphs of y equals p of x are given below for some polynomials p of x. We have to find the number of zeros of p of x in this case. First, remember an important rule. The number of zeros of a polynomial is equal to the number of points where the graph intersects the x-axis. Now, carefully observe the given graph. The curve crosses the x-axis at exactly one point. This means the value of y becomes 0 at one value of x. Since the graph intersects the x-axis only once, the polynomial has one zero. So, the final answer is the number of zeros is 1 because the graph intersects the x-axis at one point. Question 1, Part 3. The graphs of y equals p of x are given below for some polynomials p of x. We have to find the number of zeros of p of x in this case. First, let us recall an important concept. The number of zeros of a polynomial is equal to the number of points where its graph intersects the x-axis. Now, observe the given graph carefully. The curve intersects the x-axis at 3 distinct points, which are clearly marked on the graph. At each of these points, the value of y becomes 0. Therefore, the polynomial has 3 zeros. So, the final answer is the number of zeros is 3 because the graph intersects the x-axis at 3 points. Question 1, Part 4. The graph of y equals p of x is given below. We are asked to find the number of zeros of the polynomial p of x. First, remember an important rule. The number of zeros of a polynomial is equal to the number of points where the graph intersects the x-axis. Now, observe the given graph carefully. The curve intersects the x-axis at 2 distinct points, which are clearly marked on the graph. At these points, the value of y becomes 0. Therefore, the polynomial has 2 zeros. So, the final answer is the number of zeros is 2 because the graph intersects the x-axis at 2 points. Question 1, Part 5. The graph of y equals p of x is given below. We need to find the number of zeros of the polynomial p of x. First, recall an important concept. The zeros of a polynomial are the x values where the graph intersects the x-axis. Now, observe the given graph carefully. The curve intersects the x-axis at 4 distinct points, which are clearly marked on the graph. At each of these points, the value of y becomes 0. Since the graph cuts the x-axis at 4 points, the polynomial has 4 zeros. Therefore, the final answer is the number of zeros is 4 because the graph intersects the x-axis at 4 points. Question 1, Part 6. The graph of y equals p of x is given below. We are asked to find the number of zeros of the polynomial p of x. First, remember, the zeros of a polynomial are the points where the graph intersects the x-axis. Now, look carefully at the given graph. The curve intersects the x-axis at 3 different points, which are clearly marked on the graph. At each of these points, the value of y becomes 0. Since the graph cuts the x-axis at 3 points, the polynomial has 3 zeros. Therefore, the final answer is the number of zeros is 3 because the graph intersects the x-axis at 3 points. Relationship between zeros and coefficients. Now let us understand the relationship between zeros and coefficients of a quadratic polynomial. Consider a quadratic polynomial p of x is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c, where a is not equal to 0. Let alpha and beta be the zeros of this polynomial. First, let us find the sum of the zeros. The sum of the zeros is alpha plus beta. The sum of the zeros is equal to negative coefficient of x divided by the coefficient of x square. So, alpha plus beta is equal to negative b divided by a. Next, let us find the product of the zeros. The product of the zeros is alpha multiplied by beta. The product of the zeros is equal to constant term divided by the coefficient of x square. So, alpha multiplied by beta is equal to c divided by a. Therefore, for the quadratic polynomial ax squared plus bx plus c, the sum of the zeros is negative b divided by a. The product of the zeros is c divided by a. These relationships between zeros and coefficients are very important and are frequently used in Class 10 CBSE board examination problems. Question 1. Find the zeros of the following quadratic polynomial and verify the relationship between the zeros and the coefficients. The given polynomial is x square minus 2x minus 8. Step 1. Finding the zeros. Let us factorize the given polynomial. We write x square minus 2x minus 8 as x square minus 4x plus 2x minus 8. Now we group the terms. From the first two terms, we take x common. From the last two terms, we take 2 common. This gives us two factors, x minus 4 and x plus 2. So, the given polynomial can be written as the product of x minus 4 and x plus 2. Step 2. Finding the values of x. The value of the polynomial becomes 0 when x minus 4 becomes 0 or x plus 2 becomes 0. Solving these, we get x is equal to 4 or x is equal to minus 2. So, the zeros of the polynomial are 4 and minus 2. Step 3. Verification of relationships. Sum of the zeros. The sum of the zeros is 4 plus minus 2, which is equal to 2. Now, using the formula, the sum of the zeros is equal to minus the coefficient of x divided by the coefficient of x square. Here, the coefficient of x is minus 2 and the coefficient of x square is 1. So, minus minus 2 divided by 1 gives 2. Both values are equal. Hence, the sum of the zeros is verified. Product of the zeros. The product of the zeros is 4 multiplied by minus 2, which is minus 8. Now, using the formula, the product of the zeros is equal to the constant term divided by the coefficient of x square. Here, the constant term is minus 8 and the coefficient of x square is 1. So, minus 8 divided by 1 gives minus 8. Both values are equal. Hence, the product of the zeros is also verified. Final conclusion. The zeros of the given quadratic polynomial are 4 and minus 2. Both the sum and the product of the zeros satisfy the standard relationships with the coefficients. Therefore, the relationship between zeros and coefficients is verified. Thank you for watching this video. I hope this explanation helped you understand the topic clearly. If you found this video useful, please like it, share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more CBSE exam-oriented lessons. Do write your doubts, questions, or feedback in the comments section below. I'll be happy to reply and help you. Press the bell icon to get notifications for upcoming videos. Happy learning, and see you in the next video.